thank you very much for joining us today and being interested in this session for natural language processing with transformers. It's really amazing, and some of us we can see they are actually at very early morning, but they want to come and uh, attend the sessions. I know a couple of people here from previous clubs like Srinivas and Yuri. I can see the names and Darin as well. We have been, I think, part in some clubs. Thank you all for joining. So I think the first thing, as I said today, would just be an introduction of the club and how it runs, and we can do a bit of introduction. So myself is Shamsuddin Hassan Muhammad, and I'm from Nigeria, but basically now I'm studying in Portugal as a PhD student, and I'm working on the area of related to NLP for low resource African languages. Yeah, so I'm working on languages for Africa, in particular Nigerian languages, which are low resource. And yeah, so I've been in my PhD for like 3 years now, and I just feel like it has been long. Maybe in this session, in this our Slack community, we haven't had any book, and I so okay, hey, why don't I propose a study session on this book, NLP with Transformers, and people shows interest. Some of you here, so that's a bit about me, and let me go to next person, please. Maybe from my and yeah, I have Steve. Steve, please, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm on some of the other groups, like with Srinivas, we do the Kaggle group together. So we've done like a few competitions with transformers, but I wouldn't say I know that much about them. And last year, I think we did the Stanford NLP course, so we picked up a wee bit about them then. But yeah, so I've just sort of got a basic understanding of them, so I thought it'd be good to join in here and hopefully get to know a bit more about them. So I'm in Manchester in England, but originally I'm from Belfast in Northern Ireland.
Oh, nice. So I have been in Manchester for like a couple of years. I did my master's at the University of Manchester. It's a nice city.
Yeah, when it's not raining.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, that's the weather for Manchester. I mean, you are home, there is no rain, and you just come out, you see rain. Yeah. Okay, Steve. Thank you. Darin, over to you.
Yeah, I'm Darren Pluchak. I also did the Stanford course, but I think it was 2 years ago, Steve, and how I got involved in this community. And like Steve too, I know I've used transformers a bit, but I don't know a lot about them. I work for actually was a taxonomist, trained as a librarian, built taxonomies, and over the last 3 to 5 years have been learning NLP. And thanks for doing this. This is good.
Thank you very much, Darin. In my screen here, the next is Rahul. Rahul, over to you.
Hey, hi, Shamsuddin. Hi, everyone. I'm Rahul. I'm joining from India. I was working as a software engineer. Currently, I'm on a break. I have some deep learning experience from some Coursera courses, not much of NLP experience. So looking forward to learning from you all. Thanks.
Thank you, Yuri. Over to you, please.
Hi, I'm Yuri. I think I met all of you. I think Raul was, I don't remember if Raul was in any of the classes before, but so work is machine learning and AI. Like title is researcher, but we just do, we kind of do applications to in agricultural domain. So I split my time between satellite data processing and NLP, because we build the agricultural database, so we need to, like, you know, deal with what's And we started using a lot of stuff from Hugging Face now, actually for work. We're not paying them yet, but we might. So yeah. So I saw that they published a book, and I thought it would be like interesting.
Yeah.
In a practitioner point of view.
Cool. Right. Thank you, Eric. Can we go to Afsal? The next one from my slide.
Hi. Yeah, so my name is Apsal and I'm from India, and I've graduated recently and I'm about to start a full-time role as an NLP engineer in a startup. And I have some internship experience around NLP and I've used transformers there. And yeah, and I'm sure I'll be using transformers a lot more in my next job also. And I look forward to these sessions and to learn a lot from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Srinivas.
Hi, my name is Srinivas. I've been long-time volunteer with TWIML in a variety of courses and stuff, and taught a few of them, including stuff on unsupervised learning, fast AI library, and as Steve mentioned more recently, and participate in Kaggle competitions. I'm by no means an expert, still learning a lot, and I think I've also not used Hugging Face, although I went through, but I've probably already forgotten the first starter course that Hugging Face itself taught. So I thought that getting familiar with its API and stuff through this book and kind of weekly immersion in what the book covers would be a useful endeavor. So thanks for starting this, Shamsuddin.
Thanks, Nivas. I know you have been really helpful in TWIML study sessions. Thank you for that. Actually, you all had a good experience. For me, I actually don't have that quite much experience with Hugging Face and stuff like that. And I felt like taking a book and giving a challenge to me, like, to coordinate book session would just give me a very opportunity to learn more. I literally been using some classical machine learning and a little bit of deep learning, but for Hugging Face, I'm not quite. So I'm really happy that I am joining a lot of people with experience, and I really hope to learn from you all. So first thing, I'm actually a student advocate at Hugging Face. I'm not staff for Hugging Face basically, but rather I'm advocate for using Hugging Face at our university. So Hugging Face recently had a students that actually want to advocate using Hugging Face at universities. So I'm part of those students that actually try to tell students what Hugging Face is, and I feel like also here in this community, bringing this is something to advocate of using Hugging Face. So this is something that we should know. Okay, so what we will learn. So the book has actually 11 chapters. We have from Hello Transformer and to Future Directions in Transformers. And basically, as we all know here, is basically about volunteering. Each person knows what he can do, and you can actually text any chapter you want to volunteer. So I shared Excel sheet where I will share it again in the channel. So feel free to select any chapter you want to present. But at this moment, before we finish, I think we need to have a volunteer who will give us into the chapter 1. So I think the book is not quite heavy. We have chapter 1, basically chapter 11, and each chapter basically has the Jupyter notebooks related to that. And so people can just use the Jupyter notebook and we can go through with that. So this is about the chapters, and the format, as we all know, each week we have a volunteer to present the chapter. And for me, that's one of the potential thing that puts me forward is when I volunteer, maybe I can learn the material better. We just do some demonstration and also the chapter and stuff like that. And as usual, the presentation will be recorded and will be available on YouTube. So this is to discuss with the group. I think the pace will be like 1 chapter per week. and it is okay to split the chapter if we don't actually cover what that. What do you think? I think one chapter per week is okay, right? What do you think?
I think it depends on, Sajin, as you said, it depends on how much of the content and how easy it is to get through.
Okay.
Also, if the timing, I don't know whether it's plan on having 1 hour or 2 hours. It depends on that as well, because sometimes it takes more than an hour to get through the notebook. So if we have a couple of hours, then maybe it will be easier to get through a chapter. But again, sometimes what they cover in a chapter may be very, maybe it takes more than one session, in which case I think you can probably let the volunteer decide and let you know whether it will take a week, one session or multiple sessions.
Okay, cool. But from your experience, what do you suggest the hours, Srinivas, we have for this?
I think starting with 1 is probably good, but then let the volunteer who signs up for that chapter let you know how long he or she thinks it's going to take.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Every meeting I've ever been in, TWIML Community, basically an hour and 15 to an hour and a half, no matter what you do.
Okay.
And sometimes it goes longer, but I don't know why that is. So I'm assuming that we'll probably to be on for an hour and a half and just see what.
Okay.
But anyway, who knows, right?
Right. So so the time, I think anyone okay with the time at this hour, because this is the popular time from the I'm sorry, like when I use the time that app went to meet, I thought it automatically changes the calendar. If, for example, I say my 4 p.m. GMT, people will see their corresponding time, but it's actually not that intelligent, and it messes with at the first instance. And Darren, I think you had that kind of confusion at the first instance, but are we all okay with this time? I can do actually 1 hour after this, but I think since we have the majority vote, I think it's okay for everyone. Can anybody talk about the timing?
Fine with me.
All right. Okay. Yep. So thank you, Apsal. So I think the time is okay for all of us. So all of us, we don't need to we all have background, I think, but from the book, what they said, people with this kind of background, if you want to go through this book, you should have some kind of level of NLP background, which is our fast AI and this hands-on machine learning with scikit-learn, which we already did it also in TWIML and deep learning for coders. So this is some of the side the book recommend, and as you all know, Google Colab with the book says. Yeah, so I think that is all I have for this. But before we go for today, anybody want to volunteer for the first chapter? Let me see. For the first chapter, it's gonna be next week, Sunday this time. Anyone wants to volunteer for that? All right. So I think what we do is I will share the link for the volunteering, so people can feel free to populate the chapter they feel like they want to volunteer. And also, you should know that the sessions will be recorded, and we'll share the sessions. If you don't want to, I believe everyone is okay to record his session if you want to present. We don't have any issue, I think, with that. So yeah, anything anyone wants to add? So the purpose for today meeting is just for us also to understand ourselves and just to do a bit of introduction of ourselves. And I think from now we understand ourselves, and by next week we can start with chapter 1. So feel free now. The session is open for discussion. If you want to talk on something related to the book or something that you had an experience that will make the session better, please feel free and talk about that. Yeah, Rahul.
So I just was comparing the book with the GitHub slides, the notebooks, and I see that some of the theory is not there, the in between stuff. So I just wanted others to know that if you have edu account, learning.o'reilly.com has this book for free. Not all the edu account works, but some of the account works. So just wanted others to know that you can also access the book that way.
All right. Thank you very much, Rahul.
Where was that? Sorry, where? Yeah, so I don't actually have the book yet. I've just ordered it, but where can you get it for free?
Rahul.
So I think it depends on whether you have university account and your university has the collaboration with O'Reilly, but you at least want to try this link, creating your account with some edu email ID if you have.
Oh, I don't have one of those, but I have just ordered the book, but I've just ordered, there's like an updated version, which isn't out yet. It comes out next week, I think.
Colored version.
I just ordered I received the black and white one. You're going to get the color one.
That's what I was waiting for, yeah.
Yeah. I got it. So, Raul, were you saying that there is some additional materials available other than the notebooks?
So notebook doesn't have all the, it just seems to have images and code, but not the theory part, other than second chapter. I don't know why it's the case, but if I compare both of them, it doesn't seem to have a theory part for at least first and third.
Yeah. So if I understand, maybe Rahul was saying, so for example, if we all know Fast AI notebook, right? Fast AI notebook, it contains the prose and also the code. So I think this one, I have not gone through it. Rahul may be saying it is only the code and some pictures, but there is no prose explanation of those stuff. Is that correct, Rahul?
Yeah, so I checked first 3 notebooks, and for first and third notebooks, it's just code and figures. Second notebook, it's same. It's one-on-one, but for first and third, I don't know. There is, and I'm still checking. But yeah, for first and third, theory is not there.
Yeah. So I think also
but there's not a place where where there's missing materials that we can access that we don't.
Oh yeah. So they basically have a website for the book, natural language processing, NLP with transformers.com, I guess. If you go to NLP with transformers, there are some kind of errata there, and many, I mean, if there is any information related to the book, they post the book, that's information in the book website, NLP with transformers, I guess, right?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And I also posted the O'Reilly link. So if you can create that free account, you might have access there as well.
Okay. NLP with transformers. No, I cannot find the book. Okay. I think this is the website for the book. And you can see they have some news. This is the day Abhishek goes through when the book was released. And yeah, so you can see some information about the colored version, full color from previous version. Oh yeah, so this is some information about the book, and also there are some, I think, errata. Yeah, let me share this link. Maybe you can have a look at it as well. All right. Cool. So anyone wants to ask something again?
It looks like somebody signed up for the first chapter.
Oh, okay.
That person is not here.
Okay.
David.
Let me see it. Who signed? Oh, okay. So no one signed. It's just this discussion for today. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is me for book club organization that I talk about, and this is David that signed for this.
Oh, got it. Sorry. Yeah, it was in the same row as the first chapter, so I thought that was.
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah, I didn't look at. I look at like a fifth column.
Nice. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So feel free, please, to any chapter you are interested. Yeah. So if you are interested within the chapter one, I'm happy you just populate that so that we should know you have time to prepare for that. Yeah.
I mean, I can help facilitate chapter one. I'll read it again more closely. I've read 1 and 2. I'm on 3. 3 is like where the meat of how the Transformers work is very interesting. I'm sure it'll take more than one session.
Okay.
I mean, I can. So as long as everyone reads it, we'll talk about it, and I don't know.
Okay.
Not sure what exactly what to do, but I'll do something.
Okay. Right. Thank you, Darren. Just put your name. So yeah, feel free if you want to do any chapter, and you can populate it yourself. Yeah, thank you, Darren, and thank you, David. David is not here, I think. But David, I can see no David here. All right. So now we are good since we.
Yep. I'm sorry. I was gonna say chapter two kind of goes through the idioms. So like the data loader, just sort of like the normal way you use their different classes and code, without any real theory, I think. So I don't know if anyone on the call has used Transformers enough to have just a reasonable comfort level with the tokenizer and the data loaders. So you'll feel comfortable with presenting chapter 2.
Okay. So for me, I put my name at training Transformers from scratch. I don't know how to do that, but I want to challenge myself.
Good one.
Yeah, I actually don't know, but I think this is a good challenge for me, right? So I will present, yeah, chapter 10, training Transformers from scratch. I don't know how to do that, but I will volunteer to do that. Yes, anyone wants to add something before we go for today? Right. So I think we are all good, and we have a good plan, I guess. Thank you all for joining today, and thank you for contributing to having this book club to become lives, and we can learn together, I hope. Yeah, so that's all I have from me. So I guess we meet next week, same time. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Cheers. See you then.
See ya.